as well just, you know what? Just start right over here. This works. Why don't you move in just a little bit more? There, that's good. Move in this way. You're
Tell me when
bouncing
to stop.
all over the place. Okay,
All right.
a little too close. Back up a little bit. Okay, there's perfect.
Personal space.
Okay.
I got you.
That works. Yep, that works. Okay. Hello, Wink. We're over here.
Winky.
Oh, and Beach Gal is here.
Who's Beach Gal?
Hello, and Beach Gal is my best friend of 40 plus years.
Wow.
She is not a gamer, and she is here on her mobile. So,
Cool.
Her mobile.
before the shows, well, we'll just, you know what? We'll just go into it. Is there anything that you're not comfortable talking about? Because I'll make sure to
Bestiality.
get those. Okay, I'll make sure to get all those subjects out of the way first.
But I'm not against it. I just don't really love it. Not that I've ever tried it, but whatever.
Okay.
I'm just burying myself in a deeper hole.
Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Windmajik here at the Scenic Club. We have a little bit of a different format because there are some changes going on in the world, and our set isn't set up on the stage. So we are utilizing these sofas. I'm Windmajik. I'm here with my guest this week, Silver Fox. And I guess we'll just dive right in. Now, we've already established that Silver Fox is not comfortable talking about bestiality. So even though his name refers to an animal, we're just not even going to touch on that subject.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Silver Fox, thank you for being here. And where are you joining us from? Where in the world are you joining?
I'm in Staten Island, New York at the moment, where our New York Giants are playing your Green Bay Packers and losing.
Yeah, and where you're losing to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so when you're not watching your team lose to my team, what in the world are you doing?
On a typical Sunday afternoon? Or in general?
Well, okay, so on a typical Sunday afternoon when you're not watching football, what are you doing for fun and lounging, you know? Are you lounging? Or...
I'm lounging. So I have a special needs son. His name is Jesse. He's 26. And Sunday is our day to spend together. You might even hear him every now and then in the background. So we go out for lunch. We do a little bit of shopping. It's our hangout day. So that's what I like to do normally on a Sunday. So we hung out together this morning, and we're going to have dinner together later.
Nice. And for in your professional life, what do you do for?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm a little bit older, so I've got a longer professional life. I was a school teacher in New York City for 10 years, and then I spent about the next 15 years. I left teaching, but I worked for a technology education company, so I would train teachers. So when teachers brought new technology in their schools to work with their students, I'm the guy that would come in and train them and teach them. The last couple of years and presently, I am the director of education. Doesn't that sound fancy?
It does. It sounds really fancy. Do you have little cards that say that and everything?
I have very fancy business cards that say Director of Education. So now when schools and districts and even states, yes, I deal with heads of states when budgeting comes around and they're ready to figure out what technology their kids need to succeed. I sit there and work out and say, well, you have this much money to spend and your kids need help in math. So my company can help them buy this from us. So I'm still in education kind of, but now in the business portion of it.
I see.
So that's what I do.
Now, when you were teaching, what grades did you teach and what subjects?
So I had a choice because I wanted to be a computer teacher. So I had the choice of grade levels, and I chose elementary school because they're shorter than I am, and I'm pretty short. So high school was no for me. I did not want to deal with kids that I came up to their belly button, and that would intimidate me. So I actually was a kindergarten teacher for a year and a third grade teacher for a year. And then I did K-5 technology. I was a computer teacher in the building, and I did it for 10 long years. 10 long years. Sounds like a prison sentence, but it wasn't.
It really does. It truly does. 10 years.
It kind of
was. 10
was.
years with elementary school age children. Like, that's prepubescent, isn't it? That's with those squeaky little voices.
Yeah. Oh my God. They're needy and they're smelly and they're otherwise wonderful.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. But nothing you can say will convince me of that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, to me, it's just childhood is just the stage they need to get through.
Well, I helped them get through it for 10 years, and that was it.
So now you mentioned that you have a special needs son. Do you mind me asking?
As long as it's not about him and bestiality, we're good.
Well, I hope that. Yeah. Okay. No, that wouldn't have even crossed my mind.
Sorry, I don't know where the hell I was going with that either. What do you want to know?
I don't know. We're just going to gloss over that. We're going to pretend
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll just gloss over that. So now you've shared with me what his needs are because I'm on the autism spectrum, and you had shared with me that your son also is.
Yes.
But that he's at, I believe you said, like a level 2.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. So people tend to think of people on the spectrum as high functioning or low functioning. That's silly because there's so many different flavors of functioning. So let's put it this way. He's 26 years old. I'm going to be very frank. 26 years old. He can speak when he wants to. He doesn't, like, if I walk in the room, he may not say, "Hey, Dad." But if I say, "Hey, Jesse," he'll turn to me and say, "Hey, Dad, how are you?" So he'll speak when he wants to. He can feed himself. He can dress himself. But he can't live on his own still at this point. Right. So he's self-sufficient to a degree. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. He's a blast to hang out with. But again, he's not to the point where he can't go out and get a job. But if I were to take him, there's a pizzeria near me, and I'm working out with the pizzeria where I will bring him in, and he will fold pizza boxes, and they will pay him in pizza.
Okay. All right. So that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. So, but that's cool. No, so he was diagnosed early then.
He was diagnosed right about the age of 2. We brought him to a doctor for a totally unrelated idea. And I had 2 kids before him. Growing up at that point, again, we're going back a lot of years. He's 26. The only thing we knew about autism was Rain Man and Tom Cruise. That was our only experience with autism. Prior to that, if you would see a kid in the mall, and I apologize to anybody I might offend, but fuck you, don't get offended. So I dropped my first F-bomb. That was quick. Back then, if you would see a kid his age in the mall with his fingers in his ears, maybe jumping up and down and windmilling his arms a little bit, the term, unfortunately, then was, "Hey, look, that kid's retarded." That was just a general term because autism wasn't a popular word back then. But we brought him to a doctor for something totally unrelated, and the doctor said we need to get him checked for autism because he noticed he wasn't making eye contact and he wasn't responding to certain cues. So when we got him officially checked and diagnosed, immediately after we got the diagnosis, we started getting treatment and bringing him to therapists. And thank God we did, because I 100% believe that the sooner you get some intervention, the better it is for the child.
Oh, I fully believe that. I wasn't diagnosed till I was in my late 40s. And I do think that there's, it's a difficult diagnosis a lot of times for people when they're older, because they get diagnosed with all kinds of trauma issues, because there isn't anybody who's late diagnosed on the spectrum who doesn't have some sort of trauma. Yes. As a result of being on the spectrum. And, maybe if there had been more understanding many years ago, back in the Stone Age when, they were still like rubbing sticks together to make fire and stuff back when I was a kid. Yeah. Because for sure there were signs. I know I did make eye contact, but like I didn't crawl like a normal kid. I didn't like being hugged or held or,
Yeah, see, and I
yeah,
remember you mentioning you also tiptoed a lot.
I tiptoe. Oh yeah, yeah, I
So again,
tiptoed.
we didn't know the signs. So the doctor asked us some questions, and I'll give you some examples. Besides my son tiptoeing, he used to like to lie on his back in the living room and stare at the ceiling fan. I thought it was cute. Doctor said sign of autism. He used to like to run into the couch and bounce off. I had two girls. This was my first boy. I thought he was just being a boy. Doctor said that's a sign of autism. He used to watch, I remember very distinctly, he used to watch a cartoon, the Teletubbies, fucking stupid cartoon, but he used to watch the
Terrible.
F-bomb number
Yeah.
two. But he used to watch it and he wouldn't laugh at the appropriate times, but then they'd cut away from the silliness that people would normally laugh at, and there'd be a tree in the forest and the leaves were falling down, and he thought that was hysterical. And I thought that was adorable. But apparently, again, that's a sign of being on the spectrum. Now, the umbrella of the spectrum is so big that so many people are, quote unquote, on the spectrum. As a matter of fact, almost everybody you talk to in VR chat says they're autistic. Not diagnosed, but they're autistic. So that umbrella is so big right now that
It is.
So many different things are falling under that umbrella that it's really hard to say.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I do notice that being in VR, there do seem to be a lot of people that do fall somewhere in the criteria. They may not be landing on the spectrum, but they're definitely dancing on the edges of it.
But
for sure.
I also see that because, a lot of special needs kids, my son and others, seem like such, I hate to use this term, so God forgive me, seem like such normal functioning kids, except that they have social anxiety and don't have social cues. And VR chat with the avatars and the anonymity really play into the ability to interact with people without worrying about those social cues. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I do not want facial tracking because I don't want people to see that, like, there are many times I have my eyes closed, or I am just not even looking at them at all when I'm speaking to them.
You could be picking your nose right now. I wouldn't even know it.
Exactly. I absolutely could be. I could be sitting here with my titties out. No, I'm not.
Oh,
You see, both of my hands are moving.
Just checking.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, both of my hands were moving. And I was, I forgot to put my controller down. Okay.
Oops.
So now we met through the Unknown Theater, which is a comedy club in VR chat now. Used to be here in Horizons, but you started there in VR chat. And how did you, was that your first experience in doing stand-up comedy, or how did you?
That's a good question.
How did that all come about? Because that doesn't seem to, I mean, I guess you have to have a sense of humor to be able to be around kids. And you've been married for a lot of years. So I know
that means my wife's got a sense of humor.
Yes. So that means you both have to have a sense of humor,
yes.
I would think. And you have children of your own. But what got you interested in doing stand-up, and how long have you been doing it for?
I always wanted to do stand-up. In college, also back in the Sticks and Fire days, a million years ago, I did some improv. I was part of an improv troupe in college, but it was just goofing and dabbling. We never did any shows, but I always loved comedians. I always loved stand-up comics. And I always thought of myself as a funny guy. I always made people laugh. I always made people smile. I'm very quick-witted, at least I believe so. So I was always good with that, but I never, excuse the term, I never had the balls to go up and do stand-up comedy, which is silly because my job is presenting to teachers. So there are times where I'm standing in front of 30, 40, 50, 60 teachers or principals, or I actually even, like I said, I might be in front of congressmen or senators talking about budgets, and I have no problem standing there and presenting to them. But the thought of getting up and going out of my comfort zone to do stand-up comedy, I've never been able to do it. Fast forward to, I have VR. I'm a big VR gamer. I love all things VR. and VR chat came around, or it was there, and I found VR chat, and the only thing I did in VR chat was I used to go to worlds by myself and explore, because I'm 60 years old almost, and most of the kids on VR chat that I ran into were much, much younger, so I wasn't comfortable being social. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and I don't even know how it happened, but I saw something on a Friday night at the Unknown Theater where they were doing improv. I never heard of the Unknown Theater, never even thought about stand-up comedy, but I saw some kind of an ad maybe on Reddit for there, and I popped it in. Wink, who's in our audience. Hi, Wink.
Hi, Wink.
Wink was there at that improv show, and I got up and I did some improv, and everybody was so nice and everybody was so supportive. Wink was like the most wonderful human being I ever met. Everything you did, she would say, "Oh, you're great. Oh, you're fantastic." She's like the most supportive person. Really, really just exactly what I needed.
Cheerleader.
She is like the cheerleader, so good. And I had such a fun time that they told me that there was a stand-up show on Sunday night. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to stand up, but I'm going to go and I'm going to be in the audience because I wanted to check it out. So I went there Sunday night and I was in the audience. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going to go up. And then my son was making some noise in the other room. So I put down my headset to go check on my son. When I came back, it turns out that I leaned my headset the wrong way. So my avatar wandered up on stage, and the host, the host Wolfclaw started making fun of me. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing on stage? And I panicked. So I said, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. I had nothing written. I was totally unprepared. And he said, okay, here's Silver Fox. And I started telling jokes and nobody laughed. Not a single person, except, Wink might have chuckled because, again, cheerleader. But nobody else. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I was funny at all. So I wouldn't have laughed at me either. I just started telling some stories and I got off. And even though I bombed, I was so excited. It was like I just won the lottery. I got over a fear. So then the next night they were doing another show. So between Sunday night and Monday night, I wrote a 3-minute shtick that I wanted to do. I spent all day Monday writing it, and I went Monday night and I got up on stage and I killed. Everybody was laughing their asses off. And I said, wow.
That the best feeling ever.
That is, yes, it was great. And now I'm doing it at the Unknown Theater. And some of the guys from the Unknown Theater do stand up at some of the other online stand-up comedy clubs. And now they're inviting me. So I went from not being able to be social to
shut the fuck up.
People are inviting me
to go and do like a different
it's all good. People are inviting me to go to different clubs. And now, I still don't consider myself a stand-up comic. However, today's Sunday, right?
It is.
Monday, Tuesday. In 3 nights, Wednesday night, I'm going to try my first ever real world open mic. And I'm pumped.
Yay! Congratulations. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
I can't wait. And it all started because Wink cheerleaded me.
Oh, God.
Improv.
Absolutely. Oh, it is so much fun. Congratulations.
I might come back on your show and let you know how it goes.
Yeah, I hope you do. So,
but I'll record it.
So you just kind of like got bit by the bug that fast, and just really it was stand up by fire. Like you just got up there and did it. Wow.
I always wanted to. And now when I did it, I realized that it's so similar to what I do for a living that it's just, when I present to teachers, I always try to make them laugh because you got to put them on ease. Otherwise, they're not going to learn anything. So and I don't think writing is easy, but I think relating life in a funny way is not that hard if you do it the right way. Some of the comics I see, they get up and they just say random shit because they want to make people laugh. That's not comedy. Making people laugh because they think what you're saying is funny and makes sense, that's comedy. And that's what I love to do now.
Yeah. I mean, I have been to open mics where, people just get up and they say the dumbest things, and you just feel like you're hanging out at a frat party. And I mean, you can tell the difference between real comedy where people have written their jokes, they've worked on them, they've worked on the timing, and there's a lot. What is your process for writing a joke? Like, do you just come up with an idea out of the blue? Do you keep a notebooks everywhere?
So
I mean, I know what mine is. Mine's a little chaotic, but
I can imagine yours is very chaotic. But I will say I've seen your stand-up, and you're hysterical. Excuse me, F-bomb number 3. You fucking kill me. You're all over the place, but you always tie it together. You remind me of one of my favorite shows is Seinfeld. And one of the things I loved about Seinfeld is they'll hit you with a joke in the first 3 minutes of the episode, and 27 minutes later, so many other things happen, but they call back and everything makes sense. And that's your stand-up comedy routine. And it's hysterical.
Okay, well, I think a lot of that has to do with having ADHD also.
But you make it work.
Well, the autism in me, the ADHD in me sends me off on all these other avenues, but the autistic me needs to complete what I started. So
I get it.
It's just really coming around back to where I meant to be in the first place. But somehow, it works.
It works. Well, to your question earlier.
Yes. So what is your process?
Honestly, I have a very loud house. Between my son, I have 2 very loud daughters. My wife likes to yap a lot in a good way. I have, oh shit, she heard it from the other room. I have 2 dogs and I have 2 cats. So there's always something going on. So what I like to do is I have a very big hound dog named Elvis the hound dog, and I walk him as many times a day as I can. And every time I walk him, I'm writing in my mind. And I'm just coming up with ideas, and then I just flesh them out throughout the day. And then hopefully I get stuff out of it.
Okay. Wow. So, like, do you don't just like randomly come up with something in the middle of the day and just like keep it in a notebook? You actually have like a
I keep it in
dog joke writing process. That is amazing to me.
I do use Google Keep because it's on my phone. So I just take out my phone, pop open Google Keep, speak and tell it an idea. Like I was walking the other day and I thought of something with alcoholic beverages and the difference between, I used to get a gin and tonic, now it's sex on the beach. It's a totally different world. And once I write that idea down, then later on I look at it and one of 2 things happen. I either build on that joke or I go, what the hell was I thinking when I wrote this? So it goes both ways.
Yeah. Do you write something down, just like a couple words, and you lie to yourself when you're writing it down by telling yourself, oh, I'll remember that. I'll just need those couple words to jog my memory.
Yeah, bullet points are usually good or usually gibberish. So it could go either way. But sometimes gibberish leads to funny too, because I'm trying to figure out what I said and I'm thinking about it so hard, it just makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
My headset heated up and everything. So now, do you have any like comedic inspirations? Like, were there favorite comics that you liked while you were growing up?
Yes. I grew up in the golden age of comedy because, again, I'm old. So my earliest memory of comedy, my father worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And we didn't spend a lot of time together, but every single Sunday, it was a ritual. We'd wake up, do some chores, and from 11:30 to 1 o'clock on Channel 11, we watched Abbott and Costello. So that was my first introduction to comedy. But it was every Sunday we watched Abbott and Costello, and then either football or baseball, depends on what was on. So that was a good memory for me. But remember, I grew up around George Carlin, Richard Pryor, early Eddie Murphy, Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges. We have some great comedians now, but there are so many. And so many different flavors. Back then, they were less comedians, but they were really funny.
Yeah, because we grew up like, it was like second wave Saturday Night Live. It was like Yeah.
Belushi,
Yeah, they were
Radner,
amazing. They
you
were
know,
amazing. They
yes.
were so fun. I was not allowed to watch that growing up.
Oh no.
Oh no, 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 no. I grew up in a very, very religious, very strict household, and there were so many channels to choose from. Then all three of
Yes.
them. Yeah,
unless you held the antenna, then you got a fourth one.
yeah, yeah. If you could get somebody to do that, or if you could get I could get my little brother to go stand on the roof, and he would hold on to the antenna. Sometimes we
Ah,
could get a channel out of Canada also.
back in the good old days.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was
Um,
fun.
yeah. Now, have you ever tried? Did you try improv? Would you ever be interested in trying like a different style of comedy like that? Like improv, I'm not good at. I like watching it and it's fun, but I'm not very good at it.
I love improv because I like thinking on my feet. I think I'm pretty quick. So, like I said, I tried it a little bit in college and then never really since then, although, I've always wanted to dabble in it. But I had so much fun at the Unknown Theaters. And it's not just doing the improv. The guy that we're working with, Danny, he's uh, in real life genius, and he's giving
Yes.
us a lot of advice and a lot of great things. So I'm going to share, Wink, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to share the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. We were doing improv the other night, and Wink was in a scene with somebody else, and Wink was working in a hotel, and the guy came up and he said that he wanted a room for his wife and his kids, and he wanted them to be connected. But it turns out that he was on one floor, his wife was on another floor, and his kids were on another floor. And Wing said, "Well, I'm sorry, sir. We're doing the best we can." He goes, "But I wanted the rooms connected." And she goes, "They are connected by the hotel." And it was just such a spur of the moment improv. And that's what I love. I laughed. Wasn't it? It was the funniest thing I've
Perfectly
heard.
logical.
Yes, but that's the beauty of improv. You can be funny if it makes sense. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I do like the stand-up comedy also. So, I switched between the two, but they're both fun.
So, what do you think of all the comedic advice that you've ever received? What do you think is the best advice
So
you've received?
from one of the guys at the Unknown Theater, Rodney, he hosts a joke club before an open mic where you can bounce some ideas and he'll give you some advice. And he told me the difference between, and he said, if you throw jokes at people, it's not going to work because they can read a book or they can, listen to a stand-up comedy special. He said, if you have a conversation and you make them feel like you're talking to them and listening to them, then it's a meaningful laugh, not a cheap pop. And I think that stuck with me because when I get up on stage, again, a lot of these comedians are funny, but they'll come up and they'll drop a joke and it'll work or it won't work. And usually they're reading it off their phone. I put together a 3-minute shtick or a 3-minute story that makes sense and makes you laugh. And I practice it. And then I do tweak it. I don't read it. I adjust it on the fly based on the reaction from the crowd. But when Rodney said to me, don't talk to them. I'm sorry, he said, don't talk at them, talk to them. That made sense to me.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it is better when you feel like there's something that's relatable.
Yeah.
And I mean, as goofy I know as I get with my comedy and stuff, a lot of things I think that I talk about, other people can relate to. They just don't say out loud.
Yes. I've heard it. I agree.
It's just stuff that you don't talk about, or so I've been told you don't speak of in polite conversation.
Yes.
And
Shocking is okay to some degree also.
do you find the irony, though, of being able to get up on a stage in front of a bunch of strangers and say on stage what you're not allowed to talk about at a party with your friends?
It's weird. It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, once I realized I could do that, I was like, well, all I need is Chat GPT and a stage. I got rid of my fucking therapist.
Well, there you go.
I was like, I don't need her anymore. Save myself some money and make people laugh in the process.
Well, there you go.
So, what do you think is maybe the worst comedic advice you've ever received? If you've ever received any bad.
Just go up there and be funny. Sometimes, so here's the thing. A comedian is somebody that can be funny, could be an actor, could be a person. A comic is somebody that says funny stuff. And I think that the worst advice somebody gave me was just go up on stage and wing it, because
that's what you did the first time, didn't you say?
And it did not work. It did not work at all. But it gave me the courage to go back. But when you think about it, it's good to be able to adapt and adjust on the fly, but it's also good to have some kind of a framework so that people don't think you're wasting their time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that winging it, hosting an open mic, you can wing it more.
Yes.
It's good to have a little bit prepared and stuff in case you get a bomb on stage. Yeah. But it's, but getting up and just winging it with doing a stand-up set, that'd be a little rough. I mean, I have gone up with an unprepared set, but I mean, I always have jokes. I mean, I've done it long enough now that I have sets that, I know I can get up on stage with, but I don't think I'd ever be able to just get up and wing it. Do you have people that find out that you do comedy, though, that you do stand-up, and say to you, oh, say something funny to me, make me laugh.
Every time. Tell me a joke, comedian.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do for a living? I'm a firefighter. Here, let me burn up a notebook. Go put that out now. Come on. Yeah, people do that. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
You always have to have one good joke in your back pocket, though. So at any point, if somebody says, make me laugh, I have one joke that I can always just whip out, and it's the stupidest joke in the world, but you have to laugh at it. So you have to have that one.
And so what is the joke? What is your go-to? Okay,
you really want to hear it?
Silver Fox, you're a stand-up comic. Make me laugh.
Okay. Oh, God. A woman gets on the bus. A woman gets on the bus holding her baby. And the bus driver looks at the woman and goes, ma'am, that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen in my life. So the woman goes and she sits down next to the guy and she starts crying. And the guy says, what's the matter? And the woman says, the bus driver just insulted me. So the guy says, you know what? You should go up and give him a piece of your mind, and I'll hold your monkey for you.
Okay. That's cute.
That's my go-to, because it can always, it's stupid, but it gets a chuckle.
See, I always answer that with, I'm glad I didn't tell you I'm a proctologist.
Oh, that's I may borrow that.
Just kidding. All yours.
That's good.
If it's a woman, usually women don't do that, though. Like, it's guys that are like, oh, make me laugh, But if it was a woman, I'd be like, oh, I'm glad I didn't tell you that I'm a gynecologist.
Well, yeah.
But I think a proctologist is universal. I mean, everybody has assholes.
Well, my wife says she married one, but that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, I mean,
she didn't hear that one. That one she's not commenting on. Of course, that one she doesn't.
She may be just nodding.
I'm sure she is.
In the background.
Yeah.
And what do you think is the biggest misconception about stand-up?
Again, I think the biggest misconception is anybody that thinks that they're funny, you're not always that funny. There's one thing to making somebody laugh over the water cooler with a offhanded comment. There's another thing to making a room full of various different people entertained for an extended period of time.
Yes, that's
definitely
what I think. And recovery is rough because once you realize that you're bombing and a joke that you thought was going to hit really well bombs, and you
that
think
hurts a
like,
little.
okay, well, this one always gets laughs, so you throw out that one, and then that one doesn't get laughs. That's where I flounder. I'm just like, oh shit, I just need to be off the stage. Like I don't know. I get all flustered and stuff.
If nobody laughed at my monkey joke, I was going to say, oh, my battery's dying and shut the headset quickly. So I know exactly what you mean. You don't want to bomb.
Yeah.
But like I said, I bombed and it opened everything up for me.
Yeah, I
have
to say I've only had one true, like, total bomb where I don't think anybody laughed at anything I said through the entire set.
Oh, no.
Like, it was painful. It was really painful. And it was for, like, some conference thing. So it was, like, actually, like, it was apparently not the type of jokes that they were looking for. And I really think that you need to be familiar with comedian that you're hiring to do something. If
yes, I am not a role model. I am a comic.
Yeah, everybody just looked really uncomfortable, which made me get even more and more ridiculous. So
of course,
it was terrible. Now, this is a very important question that I do ask everybody that comes on the show. So you may want to think about this, and this wasn't one of the questions I gave you that to prepare for, but Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh my goodness. So younger Star Trek. I have two older brothers and Star Trek was the way to go. Then all of a sudden it was Star Wars because Star Wars was so much more mainstream. Right now though, if they were both on, I had to choose between the two. I'm so embarrassed, but I'm Star Trek.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay,
still my go-to.
Still be friends. Yeah,
thank you.
Still be friends.
Okay.
That's good,
I went to Universal Studios and I did this. I went to Hollywood Studios and I did the whole Star Wars exhibit and I loved it. But Star Trek still has that special place.
I love Star Trek. Originals, even like the original with the really bad acting.
Captain Kirk is such an incredible speaker. Yes. The overacting was great.
The first time I think I heard Spock say pain is a human emotion. That just...
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. But we're recording a show right now. So if you would like to have a conversation or something you could maybe move it out there. That would be appreciated. Thank you. Oh. Very
You
polite.
handle things so nicely.
Well, I try to. I don't want to be mean.
Get the fuck off the stage. Sorry.
Well, I know I wouldn't say that, but because usually where we would be on the stage, but like I say, it's under construction right now, and my right controller battery is low.
Oh no!
Yeah, it just yelled at me.
I hate when that happens.
Well, that's good to know. And would it be original series or next gen? Or
I'm still a fan of the original,
There's only one wrong answer. There's only one wrong answer.
Is that Voyager?
No.
Or Deep Space?
No.
Because I like the two of those. I'm not I don't hate next gen.
Oh.
Enterprise?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But
original works.
Yeah, so I'm glad to know though that you would pick Star Trek.
Yes.
And other questions, like these are just random obscure questions that I like to ask.
Go.
So if you could spend an evening with any three people, living or dead, who would it be?
Like a dinner?
And why? Yeah, like a dinner, or just, hang out by a fire or whatever. Just if you could hang with 3 random people, who would it be?
So can I ask a favor? Can I do a lunch and a dinner because I can't decide between 2 groups of people?
So you want to have 6 people?
No, I want to have 2 groups of 3. They don't connect. I want 3 for lunch, 3 for dinner. I want to double down. Okay, so for lunch...
all right, you can double down for lunch. Okay, who do you want to have lunch with?
For lunch, I want Groucho Marx because I think he's one of the funniest people ever.
Okay.
I want to have Robin Williams because I never know what he was going to say, and he made me laugh my ass off. And I want to have Jonah Hill. But this is true, not Jonah Hill, the actor. When I went to elementary school as a child, there was a kid named Jonah Hill. True story. And he sat behind me in grades 3, 4, and 5. He was a class clown. He used to verbally abuse me and make fun of me every freaking day. And I was too shy to say anything to him. So I want him, because he was an asshole. Excuse me. I want him at the dinner party because I know that he's going to be an asshole. And I know that Groucho Marx and Robin Williams will destroy him. And that would make me happy.
Yay, that was very well thought out. Okay, so that's at lunch. Okay, so you're already going to be in a great mood now. Are lunch and dinner going to happen in the same day?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm doubling down big time.
For dinner.
Oh, it's revenge again. So revenge for lunch. The theme of the day is revenge. So for dinner, I want Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Holy fuck, okay.
I want Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
Oh, my God.
And I want Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because I grew up in the Cold War era where we were always afraid that we were going to get nuked. I lost so many hours of sleep worrying that the world would get nuclear destruction. Now I want Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, the guy who came up with the Manhattan Project and the nuclear bomb, to be at a dinner table with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees so they can ruin his sleep for the next 30 years. I want my revenge.
Holy fuck, you are twisted.
I am twisted, which is why we're friends.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Very, very well thought out.
Thank you.
Damn.
Thank you. Hey, if I'm only going to get 1 or 2 shots, I'm going to make them count.
Well, I mean, usually people only get 3 people, but you kind of got 6. But that's okay because 2 of them were fictional.
Well, thank you. Now, if you ask me about breakfast, I want 3 hot chicks, and I don't care. I'm not describing it. I'm not talking about it. But enough revenge. I want some fun, too.
Your wife went out to get something at the store, didn't she?
Absolutely. I heard the door close before I said that. I ain't stupid.
Wow. Thinking about that with growing up, like during the Cold War and the nuclear, the threat of that we were going to be bombed at any minute. I do remember that. I remember not being able to fall asleep because I was also Catholic. And my mother made me say my prayers. And even though I became an atheist long before I stopped saying my prayers, it was a ritual and I couldn't fucking fall asleep until I said my prayers. The last prayer I said was the Hail Mary, which is like the rosary prayer. And it ends with world without end. Or now and at the hour of our death. That's it. And I've got these 2 prayers. One ends with world without end. The other one ends with now and at the hour of our death. And I'm thinking, well, the world is going to end if it blows up. If somebody presses that button. And I thought that there was some big red button that somebody could just accidentally walk by and hit, like those power buttons on the, on the wood shop wall. I thought that was the button. It was just boom, and there was going to be a bomb that would immediately drop right where I was, of course. I did live in fear of that.
No, we all did. Now is the time.
Yeah. I don't even know our kids are just afraid of everything now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Rightly so. I mean,
Yeah, we live in scary times.
We really do. Yeah, I would not want, I'm so glad to have grown up in the 80s when there was no social media. Like,
Yep.
if we were bullied, we could come home
Yeah.
and we could be away from it.
Yes.
Kids can't get away from it now. They
No,
go
no.
home, they're on their phones, and they're still subject to the constant, they never get a break from any of it now. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad to be old. For sure.
Yeah. It's the benefits of age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, speaking, if you could give your younger self one bit of advice, what would it be?
Buy stock in Apple. I mean, seriously. No, but if I could give him advice, that's a very good question. I think I would have told him to breathe a little bit more. I was wild and I crazy and just jumped from one thing to the other. And, my 20s, my 30s are a blur. I think if I could tell him just breathe, relax, and enjoy life because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Very true.
So
buy stock in Apple.
That too, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But mostly buy stock in Apple.
Yeah, mostly by stock in Apple. Yeah, then you can breathe a lot easier at the age of 50 on your yacht.
True, exactly. Then you've got plenty of time to breathe when your bones, can't work anymore. Your joints aren't working, and
but you're on a beach in a condo.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if you could have one superpower, any superpower, but you can only have one, what would it be?
That's such a tough question.
It is a very realistic question, though. Like, if you were going to get dropped in a vat of acid, what would you want to come out being able to do?
Well, first, I'd want to come out being immune to acid because if not, I'm just saying. But forgetting that for a moment, that's just a thought. You know what? The younger me would have said I'd want to be able to be invisible, but that has everything to do with girls' lock. Oh, my wife's home. Let me change that quick. I think, seriously, though, the one superpower that I think I would like to have, and I'd like to be able to fly just because I love to travel. And I'd love to be able to just pick up and I wonder what the pyramids look like today. Or, I'm kind of curious what the Eiffel Tower is like on a Sunday afternoon. So I think flight would be good.
Flight. See, I would do teleportation.
So I've seen enough Star Trek to know that if you don't know where you're teleporting in, you could teleport into a vat of acid. And if you don't have that superpower, you're fucked.
True. Very, very good. So you'd at least know where you were going if you could.
Yeah.
Fly. But would you have like super fast flying? Like, would you be able to fly like really, really fast? Or is it still going to take you 6 hours to get across the country?
I'm 59 years old. Where the hell am I rushing to? If it takes me a few hours, it takes me a few hours. So I don't, I'm good with that.
But would you fly really high, or would you just fly?
No,
really
I want to fly low enough so that if something cool's going on, I can see it and zoom right in.
But not be high, not be close enough so that there could be a hunter or something thinking that you were or some crazy person thinking that you're a UFO. And try to
well, I would wear a suit that says "Don't shoot me" on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I've got it thought out. Don't worry.
Very good. I'm glad that this is well planned. So now you said that you love VR gaming. Do you play a lot of other games on here? I know you play golf.
Yes, we golf.
You have joined. Yep. You have joined golfing now.
So I do. I do a little bit of everything. I play ping pong. I play poker. I play. I fish. A lot of sociable things like that. But then again, I like to kill zombies too. It's just, the one thing about virtual reality is it's so much better than reality, because in reality, I got to pay bills and I got to worry about obnoxious people and, all that other stuff. In virtual reality, I just reload and shoot some other zombie in the head. That's fun.
True. Although I've never really played many of the shooting games. I'm not very good at them.
You strike me as someone who would be good at it. But you would just kill everybody, teammates and everybody. You just...
I just would... that would be it. I'd be shooting everything. Yeah. That's the problem, is that I end up shooting everything. And,
yeah. Yeah, maybe not a good idea.
And I don't pay any attention to the danger, like there's supposed to be dangers like people shooting at me also.
Wait, this is my impression of Windy in a virtual reality zombie shooting game. Banana, banana, yeah. I can see that music playing in the background as you wipe out the entire state of California.
Absolutely. So, is there anything that we haven't covered that you wish that we had?
Well, I want to ask you a question or two.
Oh dear. Oh fuck. Okay, that I wasn't prepared for. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't send you a list, baby.
No, you did not. Go ahead.
Vanilla or chocolate ice cream?
I guess I'd go with vanilla.
All right. Favorite pizza topping?
Anchovies.
Ooh. Horror movie or comedy movie?
Comedy.
Favorite song of all time?
I Can't Stand the Rain by Anna Peebles.
Oh, good, because I don't know the title of Manamanop, so I was hoping you wouldn't pick that one. This is a silly but serious. Sneakers or slippers?
Slippers.
Oh, I love you. That's so good. Let's think. I got one more and then I'm done. Let me think. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Really?
Except for this winter, because I'm going to Montreal with Wink.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are you celebrating in Montreal?
We're celebrating winter. And holidays. And some old broads turning 55. And it's
there you go.
It's me.
Well, happy almost birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, I got no more questions for you. I just wanted to throw a few at you.
Okay, well, those were pretty rapid fire, but I'm glad I was able to answer them easily. I was afraid that it was going to be something complicated, like, I don't know, the meaning of life or something.
Well, what is the meaning of life?
42.
Oh, gosh.
I'm, again, so happy you said that. This is why we get along.
There is no other answer. Clearly not. Well, we are going to wrap up the show then. I thank you very much for being my guest.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
This was awesome. And join me back here in 2 weeks when my guest will be announced. Have a good week. And
bye, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans next week.
Thank you.
Oh, is it next week? Shit.
Yes. Yay. Okay, show's over. I can hit